Hey, it's Mazzy. Welcome back to the channel. It's a bit of a response video. It could have been one of those clickbait headlines, the video I didn't want to make. That's such a cliche. But I just watched a record store video that popped into my feed by Hybrid Records. Now, they're a small record store, apparently a used record store. I don't know exactly where they are, but I listened to the video because he responded to a video that Too Many Records, Matt did, on his own channel yesterday. And I did see that video. That was a video talking about Record Store Day and how his store in Portland, Oregon got kicked off the list. And there's some controversy there. I don't understand all of it, but I do want to respond to it because I happened to be on a live stream yesterday when this news story broke and the Waxed was talking about it. And I think some people felt we piled on him because of that video. But I want to be transparent here. And I think there were some great things brought up. I was a little confused with that video. And you're probably going to be confused with this video too, because this is sort of a ramble, a stream of consciousness based on Record Store Day, my take on it, and my opinion on what's happening here. Now, the crux of it, it seems like his store was thrown off the list. He's off. He can't buy those records anymore. And as a small store that is primarily used, some of those stores want to carry some product. And apparently, the Record Store Day co-creator sounded like he was a bit of a fucking wanker, if this is true, and if I understand this correctly. Kind of saying, well, you're a small store, you're primarily a used store. We don't need to sell to you, you're off. Now, I am paraphrasing, I don't know the details. I stand... please correct me if that is not the case. But if that's the case, that's a bunch of bullshit. Now, I am a fan of Record Store Day. Those of you who watch my videos over the last 5, 6, 7 years see what I like about Record Store Day. Now, of course, there's criticism. Of course, it's grown from this independent thing almost 20 years ago. I went to the very first one with my friend, the archivist, at Amoeba in San Francisco, and there was literally one end bin. And the only thing I bought at that point, as I recall, was an REM 7-inch single. But obviously, we all know how it's grown. And some people feel it's got away from the soul. It's got away from what it meant to be to support independent record stores. And it's supporting of clique of independent record stores that are slightly larger. Now, there's a whole bullshit about, I think it was Garth Brooks they're talking about at one point, didn't like these things in used stores because artists don't get anything from used stores. Labels don't make anything from used stores. Back in my record store experience, record stores and record labels, when I worked in the 70s and the 80s, you could not sell used records alongside new records. They had to be separate stores. And that made sense back in that day because it was just cassettes, maybe a few 8-tracks were spilled over. I think that was gone by then, and vinyl. Of course, when streaming and download started, record stores, the only way they can make a living really is the markup on used product. They make very little, and they can't return new product, which I think is a bullshit thing right there. That's another story. Now, I have to be transparent too. I am a fan of Record Store Day. Yes, there are titles that to me are like I question, but if there's an audience for it and they sell, so be it. Who am I? I don't need to want 20, 30 records every Record Store Day. If there's 5 I want, or 10 I want, or 2 I want, that's all I need. And we know that the Black Friday that's coming up, that is always a fraction of what the April Record Store Day is. That's the big one. And I will say this, last April, that was one of the best record store days ever, for my opinion. I thought there was a lot of great releases. Now, the majors have sort of taken over somewhat more than maybe the independents would have liked, but they sell records. And again, transparency, I am not in the business anymore in terms of selling, but I've been a collector all my life. And from this YouTube channel, I do get some promotional Record Store Day advance copies from both majors and independent labels. And some of them I present that I like, and some of them maybe don't interest me. So I pass them along to friends or colleagues, if you will. So I enjoy, and the record stores in Seattle, I'm in Seattle now, seem to enjoy the ones who participate. Uh, we got Easy Street and Silver Platters who sell a lot of new stuff, but they both sell a lot of new stuff. We got Royal Records that has a pretty successful, a smaller, but pretty successful record or store day too. Same with Jive Time Records. But a lot, I think most of the other independents, as I recall, uh, they um, they don't do it. They present used drops, special used drops. Oh, Sonic Boom also in Seattle also does it. I might be missing something. If I'm missing you, I apologize. I want to give a shout out since I'm wearing the sweatshirt. Tunnel Records is one of my favorite records in San Francisco, my hometown. And if you go there, go to the one out on Terraville. They have two satellite smaller stores, but the Tunnel Records, go have a taco next door, a coffee or a cocktail around there in the outer Sunset on Terraville near the Great Highway, near the Pacific Ocean. Say hi to Ben, tell him Mazzy sent you. As I recall, when I've gone to his store, I think he carries a few record store day items, but not a lot, not across the board. Going back to Matt's video, Too Many Records, he kind of talks about this guy from the co-creator of Record Store Day mentioning to him that, you're primarily a used store. We don't need to sell you records anymore. You don't need to do this record store day, and took him off the list, kind of put him down. I think that's fucking bullshit. The whole premise of record store day is to support independence. If they buy 5 titles or 20 titles, what's it your business? Why should they be forced to buy an entire catalog when they're a small, specific record store? And if I'm getting this right, now help me if I'm misquoting people or misinterpreting this situation, please let me know. I mean, I don't know if Matt Too Many Records really presented it is how I would have. Of course, I'm right now not presenting this very well. I'm all scattered over it. He's more defined. He showed some correspondence in his video. You should watch that video. I'll put links below to both these videos. But it just causes uneasiness when the whole idea of Record Store Day to support the independent store has this drama that turns off some of these small record stores like that. If they're not a big buyer, Silver Platters here has 3 stores. Easy Street sells a ton of product. The In Groove down in Arizona buys and sells a ton of product. Don't forget those small stores. Now, I love Record Store Day, and I always find some things that are right for me. Just because something is not a title that I support, whether it's a picture disc or a zoetrope or a box set or colored vinyl, it doesn't mean someone else doesn't. I've gone to record store days. I go to Silver Platter usually in the morning early with 3 of my friends, and we have a great time. I've met so many wonderful people. To me, the community part of Record Store Day is the best part of it. Of course, spending my money, putting things out there, and trying to kind of figure out what I want on the list. Silver Platter says the checklist, which I appreciate. So you're not just a throngs of people running in and grabbing things off that's how it started. And it was fun, but also frustrating too. So the list thing, since the pandemic actually works for me, and I really enjoy it. But even if I get up there in the cold, rainy morning of the Pacific Northwest, I enjoy it. I'm not sure what else how to describe this too, because I'd like to know more. I think it's time, and it's not for me to call record store people out. There's a board that kind of the grand poobah of Record Store Day mentors that seem to police, obviously, the titles. Record independent companies submit titles and they check off yes or no. I mean, we're getting into the big political thing where it starts out as of a small kind of government cool thing, then it grows up to some monster. And we're on the verge of that monster thing happening, which is unfortunate if this is the case, and it is as described by Matt at Too Many Records. So I think that's all I need to say specifically. Again, I'd love to be on a discussion if Matt and the guy at that independent store and others who are involved would like to get on the panel. I'd be happy to host, or they can host. I don't, but it would be great to have someone from Record Store Day. One of the heads. There's Millennium Records. There's Easy Street. I mean, I don't know. There are people from Amoeba, I guess. Amoeba is obviously a larger scale thing. So, going back to the independent days of the 1970s and 80s, the larger chains always got preferential treatment from the labels. And that's just the way it goes. It happens in the publishing business, in the book business. They buy more product. But in those days, back in the 70s and 80s, you could return products that didn't sell. You'd get credit for other product. You'd get co-op advertising. It is a different world now. And the labels, the majors especially, concentrate on streaming and other avenues of profit. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. Whether it makes total sense, I'm not quite sure, but go watch Matt's video and come back and comment here and let me know if I'm mischaracterizing this, if something I missed. And it's possible, and I will admit that. But right now, the way it seems, that Record Store Day grand poobahs who lead that organization, if you call it that, kind of is fucked up. And I call out that guy who responded to Matt in that way. Now, Matt and I have only met twice, briefly. We had a little bit of a tug of war. Firstly, I won't get into that, but I respect him. I went to his store with my friend Michael from Poetry and Plastic the second time when I finally got in, and I like the store. It's a nice kind of store out of the way in Portland. Parking, you can park right in front. You can get your a mani-pedi right next door if you want, and it's a comfortable store. There's a little lounge area and everything. And I bought like 2 or 3 rare records when I was there, so I do appreciate his store, and I know. In terms of this whole vinyl community that we're a part of, there's some discussion about that too. That's maybe kind of a side story too, where there's a lot of cliques in all of us. There's the metal people and the punk people and all kinds. And we get in our little cliques, but we also interact, whether it's live streams, response videos, reply videos and things. And some people don't. They're just on a different planet and do different things. And that's totally legitimate too. So Matt and I are on those different sides there. He's a large channel that started, I think he started a year or two before me. And he's got his own thing going. And he's been, I think, successful in his dream opening up a record store. So I just want to say that Record Store Day, I still love it. I go out, I buy product, buy record, buy music. That's basically what it is, music. I hate to say product, but I buy the music and I support the local stores in my area. And that's the best part of it. So thanks for watching. Please put your comments below. Go watch Matt's video and get back to me, okay? Thanks for watching. Mazzy loves you.